再等一会儿吧。我们先上。
你要是网上看 PDF 有好的。
对，补课。发布了。
啊，又吃了，
都吃了这个。 接管了呗。
The outcomes or the propositions and it's more suitable.
保留帅高门啊！
马上，还有，然后就新加了5个人，但这5个人干嘛的我不知道。万一都是这样的话，我觉得只能翻译一些人过去。对，然后我看一下，就相当于就说我们现在是3个大的方向，但是有8个分区分开了，然后他们都3盎司。还好吧，这边有3个，这边有2个。这有3个，这有1个。Let me know if somebody comes tomorrow.
Yeah, me at the end of this year.
Okay.
In November. Except for I'm then on leave, probably December, January.
Did you ever attend the WITCH training on mentoring?
No.
So they do a pretty good job in training mentors and mentees. And I asked her to check into that program,
Yeah.
find somebody outside.
Oh, good. So she's got someone.
Yeah. But I thought it's more within academics, within UQ really. I'll tell her that there's a good one available at the end of the year if you want to wait, because she
Okay.
wanted like a formal
Yeah.
system, where you have these goals and then so
Yeah.
it's not like coffee chat.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Well, see, I haven't done the training on that either, so I don't know what to
Yeah,
do.
it's really a coffee chat, but you can
Oh, okay.
structure it a bit.
Okay.
You can structure. I can
Alright.
send you some material I had from it
Yeah.
when the time comes. Okay, Felix. How have you been?
Good.
You sent something this morning.
Yes.
Okay, is that it?
Yes, this is minutes of meeting with Martha last week. We have 3-point discussion.
So Mara, how would you, so you changed it from 3 to 4, the theory type.
Well,
Predicting is quite difficult to evaluate.
so the only reason we did this is because in the all of the work that Felix sent through last time and all the summaries of theory, there was a statement that says type 4 is characterized by boxes and arrows, causality correlations.
Yes.
Now, if you think about the INM paper, the Praxis paper, if you think about what he's trying to do here, it's looking at factors, it's looking at the independent variables and the dependent variable. So it's very much leading to boxes and arrows, which is a type 4 and not a type 2. Which is why I asked Felix to go back and very carefully reread both type 2 and type 4 to figure out exactly what this is going to be.
And I found it is suitable for type 4. Because
The main difference is what will be,
yes.
right? So if I think of a model such as this, right? These different factors, and you have got a dependent variable there, then with whatever strength of these relationships that you can find in your study and so on, and construct this, is this really predicting, or is this just explaining how and why?
I think it's predicting.
Yeah. Because the baseline of this is linear regression, and linear regression is about predicting.
It is about
yeah.
prediction.
Yeah.
So if I take these factors to be some of the ones you had around, you had something around systems, you had something around data quality, you had something around that, and this is big data's project success, right? So then you can predict success. I mean, what will be the dependent variable?
The
Effective use of big data will be dependent variable. Independent variable will be data quality and technology and system on and any others. Predicting is just, as simple as when data quality is good, so effective use of big data will be improved. I think it's statement. Yeah, it's statement of predicting.
Okay. I think a couple of things to avoid problems later on. This is obviously stronger than that, right? So it's good. It's good to go for something a bit more aspirational. As long as we have covered the nuances of this literature, and if we present something under this theory, someone like Shirley or others who are very well versed in all the subtleties there are not going to say, no, I don't agree. So I think that depth of understanding is very important.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the discussion we had last week, right? Which is why I asked Felix to go back and read through these.
But you seem to be convinced, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It will be good while this is all fresh in your mind to actually write. So imagine that you are writing your theoretical background chapter in your thesis, and you actually summarize, critique the different theory types, and develop the argument for why your work is positioned under type 4. Whether it's 3 pages or 10 pages doesn't matter, but I think it will be good for you to write it.
Yes.
Okay, question number 2. So we are asking everybody that, right? Not just the technical people. How about if we phrase it this way, can you give me an example of a big data set in your organization? So then it doesn't say which level, which project.
Yeah, you can't ask about levels, right?
Yeah.
So the levels are sort of important to the study, but you can't ask participants about organizational level or project level things. So it's just implied in the wording of the question. The issue that I had with this when I went through the interview protocol last week is we asked this really broad question of tell us about the data that your organization uses. And if you go into someone like Telstra, which project are you talking about? And so often when we do studies like these, we might ask someone to think about the most recent big data project and talk about that project rather than just talking about anything and everything to try and focus it.
Yeah.
But that then implies that we're doing a project level analysis, at least within that organization. We're missing out on the others. So I asked Felix to think about how do we get around that? How can we ask a meaningful question that the respondents can actually answer?
So we will get, so if we go to Telstra or Qantas, we will get a keyhole view because we can't meet the CIO or somebody, right? So who's got the big picture view. So we will get a keyhole view depending on that particular team. And so, for example, we can go to Qantas and it will be the frequent flyer people, not the flight booking people. So we get the frequent flyer, examples, all of them. So I think if we can phrase it, first of all, to make it not about the data, but an example of a big data set, a particular set, because we're after the characteristics of the data in your experience.
Yeah, and not in the organization.
Yes, in your experience.
Thinking about it, if somebody came to UQ and said to you, so tell us about
The data,
the big data that UQ uses.
I have no answer to that.
Yeah.
Even if we go to the ITS or CIO's office, they can't. So can you give me an example of a big data set? So we still want them to think about big in your experience. Make sense?
Yes.
Research question 3. What are the relationships between the factors that affect effective use of big data? I mean, it has to be native English speakers. Yes, definitely.
I'm just not sure that it's as straightforward as saying, so tell us about the interrelationships between these.
No. Where was this question coming?
I put at the end.
So what are the key learnings? Maybe something you will definitely do again. So why is it here? Shouldn't it be in 3? Then we say, here are the challenges, here are the support mechanisms, so they may talk about, there is no buy-in, this data is, there is too much of a power struggle, or we don't have the right, infrastructure for it, but we've got a champion, so here is support mechanisms, here's challenges, and then we ask, do they mitigate each other, do they enable each other?
It could be as well.
Yeah, I think this is
But
not
I'm-
so much an opinion piece.
I'm just not convinced that the straight question of, so tell us what mitigates what, is going to give us an answer.
So first of all, if it is coming here, I think that's a better place for it. So we need a question on relationships. So it
Either
depends.
that, or for each capability and each risk and each challenge that they mention, we say, okay, so what helps with that?
Enablers and
Or for enablers,
prohibitive
Yeah. is the
aspects.
reverse.
So, it's all about the interview skills. So imagine somebody's talking, right? And so if I have a sheet in front of me where I've got challenges, support mechanisms, risk, and I start writing them, right? So this comes up. And then at the end of this section, we present them and say, do you find any enablers? Or what's the opposite of enabler? Disable.
I think prohibitor.
Prohibitors. Roadblocks, which appear at the intersection of these. Right? Risks are more difficult.
Yeah.
Risks are almost like they are at the intersection. So let's say I don't include that to keep it, more feasible, and say here's the challenges, here's the support mechanisms, right? So, for example, somebody might say that we simply don't have good servers, right? We don't have the machines for it, right? And then over here they may say that we have a champion, all right? Now, the relationship between those
Yes.
two is pretty distant,
Yeah.
right? But we might say that, there is a challenges which is like a skills shortage, right? And then we say maybe the champion should be empowered to grow their team so that they are the ones who are going to take them along and so on. Right? So putting it more clearly, so as we take notes, we make this and we put it there and say, you tell us what are prohibiting relationships, what are enabling relationships. On the pilot, we need to do a pilot to check this out.
Figure this out, yeah.
But the question on relationship, I think, is good to add. Right? So, in terms of phrasing it, we summarize, these are the challenges, these are the capabilities, or you use the word support mechanism, so we can stick with that. Are there any, I would word it like, are there any enabling or prohibitive interrelationships between them? And you put it in front of them. Put the sheet up. Okay. So maybe you will be the one taking most of the notes, and then you have this, you make it. Your writing is probably better than mine, and then you can put it in front. Okay. So I think the last few weeks when you were away, Martha, the discussion that I was having with Felix was really trying to draw out the interview question and how the answers that we will get will help us to build the theory. And then we started thinking, okay, but what is the theory? And so that's how this is where the discussion was all about. So how confident are we now that we have joined the dots? As confident as we can be, I guess.
I think so. It looked good to me. So the only thing really that was missing to me is that those interrelationships, which
Yeah.
are important for either type 2 or type 4.
Yeah.
And then the organizational versus project level. So just making sure that the questions are actually answerable.
Yeah. Yep.
But other than that,
Where can we do a pilot? I guess the pilot was the UQ one.
UQ, yeah.
Then let's go to field. Let's just do it, right? So we have a few links. We have the contest link. We have that mining guy. Remember
Ali,
Vale?
yeah.
Yeah, Ali. Okay. We need 5, right? Potentially Telstra, although they seem to have lost half their workforce.
Yeah.
I wish we could get somebody from NBN. That'd be interesting. Okay, so what are logistically, what is the next step?
Logistically, I need to find a contact person. Maybe we decide which companies we want to.
So we got the contact person from Qantas, remember?
Yes.
And we got Ali. So
Yeah,
these are 2.
2.
So let us get started.
Let's pick one. Maybe just one first.
Shall we pick Ali because he's kind of our friend?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let us go with him. It will be a bit less stressful and less formal.
Yeah.
Vale is a mining company in Brazil. So he is he's like a lone guy here. He graduated, he did his PhD with mechanical,
Yep.
mech and mining with
Yep.
Peter Knights. Remember Peter Knights?
No.
He used to come in the data science meetings before. And he is now in their analytics team. So he's done some projects which were very data science, big data kind of projects. And he said that his team is all about, just getting value from the big data.
Okay,
and so
great.
on. Hello? Yes? Right. So I will have an advising session on Wednesday, tomorrow at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and it's in building 78, room 631. Okay. General Purpose South, GP South building, building 78, in room 631. All right, I'll see you then. Yeah. Okay, bye.
Ali invite us this Friday to attend his presentation.
Yeah, will you
Yeah.
go? Please
Yes,
go.
yes.
Right, so look at the maturity scale for mining performance and maintenance data analytics. He's really doing
Okay.
that. He's doing that kind of value, the value part of analytics projects. Although he's very technical. So it's like fuel consumption and big machinery maintenance. So that kind of
Yeah,
data set. So they
okay.
have these sensors on that. And
Sensor data.
Yeah. And his team, which is a lot of them are in Brazil and other places, they he said that he could organize like a call in which we could do the interview, and Ali can be here.
Perfect.
So you will meet with him on Friday.
Yeah.
I will be out as usual.
I'm gonna make a quick phone call.
Shortlisting meeting. So I I won't be there, but do you want to talk to him there? He probably will be busy, or maybe send him an email, CC to us, to say, remember how we talked about that interview, and is it possible to get something set up? We need the two teams, or we need technical and business? There will be two interviews.
Yes.
So explain to him that we need at least 3 people from business and at least 3 people, isn't it?
Yes.
From the technical team. And will he be able to help set that up? We can do it on Zoom, or do we have a Zoom account, UQ Zoom
Yes.
account? Okay.
You log in with UQZ.
Okay, UQZ.
You know how there's the institutional log on?
Mm-hmm.
You log in with that, and then you log in with your own. I think something like that.
Uh-huh.
I
So
never- I
like
never
UQ,
remember
like
it.
UQ, and then my whatever my.
It's like logging onto the UQ corporate Dropbox account,
Okay.
where you log in with the UQ one.
Like Office 365.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Okay, so we can do Zoom, or we could even do something informal like hello, what's up?
I have a very brief question. Dare I interfere?
Come on. You know Alex.
Good. Marta,
Yes,
I think we have them.
we have met, but I know your mouth. Right?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so very, very quickly. You know those scholarships we fund for Universitas Indonesia?
Yes,
So there was
there
like...
was some back and forth there.
was some
Christian
back
was in concern.
The question was essentially, agent needs to tell us what does she need, how does she want to split them without changing our financial commitment to make it work.
Yes.
So what she says now is, can we change one of these two scholarships to two one-off bursaries, which we will pay to 2 students that commenced now? And I said, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
It's your
Tick.
So it's not changing school's commitment whatsoever. It's just changing the way we administer it.
So Christian's thinking was that this scholarship was set up really to actually attract new
Yes.
students in. So if we are giving them to students who already commenced, it sort of defeats the
This is-
purpose.
No, in this case it doesn't, because this is quite unusual sort of setup where there's a very sort of close relationship between the long-term agent
Okay.
and the community.
Okay.
And essentially she sort of works with them to
Yeah, yeah,
make
yeah.
sure that we get essentially the whole cohort.
Yeah.
So,
The problem also was that the ones starting were much weaker than the 2 who were already here. And it initially was that should we give it to higher performing students? So I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But then I think the way that I understood it is that would be going against the conditions of the scholarship, which is for starting students and not for existing students.
yeah, I'm not sure how well we specified it, but
Okay.
I think this is really just, these would be one of 5,000 bursaries.
Okay.
And she is absolutely convinced that that would work for her in terms of her capacity to recruit the next cohort.
Yeah.
So it's really a closed loop, and it's not in every other situation. I'll say this our recruitment tool. It's not the
Yeah.
reward for the
Yeah. Are you comfortable with that?
I'm perfectly comfortable. I know that she knows what she's doing, and this
Okay.
is like a long-term relationship. This
Okay.
is probably the best one we have. So it's a very delicate exercise, and I don't know, but she knows exactly what she needs.
So we will give, instead of giving it to the commencing student, we will give it to 2 existing students.
Or a combination thereof,
Or a
but
combination.
they will be 2 bursaries rather than an ongoing scholarship.
Ah, okay.
So it'll be like, we will split 10,000 into 2 5 grants and give them like one-off.
Okay. If it's not violating any contractual
It's not
obligations?
violating any rules, and it's not increasing our commitment. It's
Okay.
really just redistributing it to make it most effective for her to have the next cohort.
Oh, okay, you're the boss.
No, well, not really, it's your money. But, so I'll get Gladys to drop you an email and about that's coming, and then
All right,
it'll
all right.
qualify.
So Christian somehow was in the loop of that.
Christian,
Christian, coursework studies, yet. Kristen, what's her surname?
Kristen,
Yeah.
Kristen Palacic.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
And so she was a little bit concerned about doing this, by giving it to existing students.
And I would usually,
Yeah.
but
All right. I'll bring her back into the loop
Yeah.
To say that this is the feedback, that we need to work with the agent.
And I told
Yeah.
the agent for next year, let's sort of see how to formalize.
We can always do that. You know, we reward students who actually do well here is not a bad thing. If we can somehow get the best of both worlds, to have a bit of, you know, recruitment lure, but also...
I think she knows ahead what her cohorts are going to be for semester 1 and semester 2
I see.
Commencement, and she's trying to get the whole community to feel that the best students are adequately rewarded. So I think that's her.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I'm just trying to get her to do the same for architecture, if you get an architecture cohort. So she's really good. She's by far our best agent.
Very good. Suspect?
Nothing new.
Okay.
Sustek seems to be dragging their feet, and they didn't meet at all. So Jess says nothing for us to worry. We did much more than they did on their side.
Okay. Okay.
So she'll tell us.
All right. Whenever it happens, I'm here.
But I think we're out of the worst problems with Sustek.
I think getting Peter Adams in was Greg's idea, but a really good one that worked for us.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Alex.
See you, Marta.
Bye. So he's long-term IT.
So he would have been here when I was here?
Yeah. Alex Bratic. So very friendly with Yaga, Maria,
Okay.
everybody. He's from Montenegro.
Okay.
So
Professional
Oliveira. No.
Academic.
He's Associate Dean International now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Professor Alex Rakic, photonics and microwave, and he did international development for the school, and now he's Associate Dean.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So he's
He
a
seems
lovely
really nice,
person,
but-
lovely person. Okay. So yes, send an email to Ali to get it started, and then I will follow up with him and give him all sorts of bribes to make it happen for us. Okay. In the meantime, I think your theoretical work should continue. So for sure, write up this theoretical background thing, right?
Yeah.
Have we heard from the paper, journal paper, second revision? Should we follow up?
Can you have a look in the system to see what it says?
Yes, we got the email that said reviewer have been done, but editor take another reviewer.
Has brought on another reviewer.
Reviewer, yeah.
Okay.
That's weird. When did that come?
Last week, I think. But I will check the system. I think there's also the summary in the system.
So you have seen the second reviews? No.
No.
So there might be conflicting reviews, maybe.
Yes, it's possible. Although the previous ones were both just revised. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like reject.
No. That's why
And we did a phenomenal revision, actually.
I thought so too.
Yeah. Okay. So fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed.
All right. What else, Felix, you are doing right now?
Last week I tried to make a table of contents of my thesis, and Martha has checked that and make some comments.
Very
of
good.
that.
Very good. Okay. No, the thesis writing, actually, you should just start on it.
And that theoretical
Like the theoretical
part is-
background. I think in terms of literature review, you are in a very good place because of that big paper that you did. And so approach section is also quite advanced because of your confirmation, and to some extent Paxis can feed into it. But you should also have another goal for another paper this year. What's coming up? Like another conference paper? When is ACES deadlines? All gone?
6th of August.
Oh, can't do that. How about case at the end of the year?
Was it around November?
Yeah, this is a little bit too information
This
systems
won't
for it.
fit
Yeah.
in, guys.
have a look at some of the conferences. I'm thinking more IS conferences. What
Yeah,
about
but
European?
everything's- So ESIS will be around November as
Okay,
well.
that's good.
Hicks should be soon.
You checking? You know Higgs?
Yes.
Higgs is a bit under the
Hawaii.
I think it's better than AMSIS.
Yeah, AMSIS is just beer drinking.
Yeah, it is. I'm just trying to see. Oh, I'm wrong. April.
Okay,
Wow, that's quite early.
so this is Mm. 2019.
Is that around November still?
Where are you? Submission deadline is 27th November 2018. Just aim for that. So-
What would we put in there?
Well, we start to think about it now as to
Are you thinking some of the data though?
ideally, ideally, even if we have got one or two case studies done by then, because it is a conference, and then we finish the other three and put it into a journal paper. And certainly there's the first shape of the model. So think about, keep it in your sight, line of sight. and yeah, so all the time you should have at least one paper that you are preparing and one paper that you are waiting for the result. So there should be no time when there is neither. Okay. All right. Good, Felix. Anything else?
So sorry, what conference?
ESIS, European Conference
Right,
Information Systems.
Yes.
This is pretty good.
Yes.
I think it's quite reasonable.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah, absolutely.
It's not as up there as ISIS, which has a deadline, I think, very early in the year.
April or May?
April or May. Well, that's your next paper.
May. I think it's usually May.
Right now we're going to absolutely target this one. Whatever you have got by then, it's not like between now and then you will have no work. Whatever we have got by then, we're going to target for that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So I will attend this Friday for this presentation.
Please attend
Yeah.
and also send him an email saying, I look forward to your presentation. Also, just following up that we are ready for the interview. For the interview, what we need is 3 people from business, 3 people from the tech side. Can we please have a meeting soon to discuss and CC me and Martha? And then we bring him in, we take him for coffee and we discuss, and then we
Go ahead with the
hopefully
others.
he will do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Martha. See you.
Hey, yeah, I'm studying sleep. I'm calling.
Aku orang yang selalu menyiapkan preparing. What do you want?